I want to bring in Congressman Pete Roskam, Republican from Illinois, a friend of this program, a frequent contributor for us. Congressman, thanks very much for joining us. I want to be quick here, but I've got two basic questions for you. Here's number one. Would these regulations, if they'd been imposed 3 years ago, would they have stopped the financial panic of '08?
No, Stuart, I agree with Charles. You know, this goes back to the White House playbook from Chief of Staff Rahm Emanuel that says never fail to take advantage of a crisis. So they saw the crisis, they sort of stoked it up subsequently, and, you know, rather than taking a step back and thoughtfully looking at the things that brought us to that point in September of 2008, instead it's really this old sort of Depression-era model again. There were some very thoughtful alternatives that were offered by Republicans in Congress, and Republicans recognized, look, things needed to change. There had to be some changes, but this wasn't the way to do it. It doesn't fix too big to fail, per se. It's essentially silent on Fannie and Freddie, and I think it creates, you know, and look at how quickly this $20 billion deal came about.
Congressman, I want to move on to a second question. Will banks be prepared to lend more money now that when these rules are in place? Because we got a lending problem here. Small businesses can't get the loans that they want. Banks aren't lending. They've got the money. They're not lending. All right, in come these new rules. Will they lend?
No, the Volcker Rule is going to prohibit banks from doing proprietary, trading, and it's going to require the big banks to spin off some of their divisions. It's going to have a restraining effect on credit in the marketplace as opposed to an expanding effect of credit in the marketplace. And I think that, you know, for areas like me, suburban Chicago, where manufacturers are trying to get access to capital and so forth, this moves in exactly the wrong direction. But I think to the point that some of your panelists making, the agenda wasn't financial reform. The agenda was not end too big to fail and put a safety net. The agenda was move big government, and that's the worldview of the political left that's completely dominating the administration and Congress right now, and they see this collapsing timeline that they've got to move things.
Congressman, I think you're referring to what I'm going to call a political victory for President Obama, another successful go at a group of companies, go at an industry and win politically. Congressman Pete Roskam, Republican, Illinois, thanks for joining us again. We always appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks, Stuart.